everybody, Moarhammer here, got another battle report for you. This is the second game of Age of Sigmar I've played. I am quite enjoying playing the game. It's very different to Fantasy, but there you go, it's a new edition, it's going to be different. So I'll just jump straight into it. This is deployment. I'm not going to start posting lists just yet because it's kind of difficult to figure out exactly what each of us has with the whole no points thing, so I'll just tell you what we both deployed. My right hand side there, I've got 3 Nurglings, then I've got a big unit of 20 Plague Bearers. There's a Herald with them as well. He's not actually attached to the unit because you can't, but he's there. Then I've got 3 Plague Drones, 3 Beasts. Behind the house I've got a Nurgle Sorcerer, and then to the left of the house I've got a Soul Grinder. And on his side, he's got, on his left there, he's got 5 Illyrian Reavers and a Prince on horse. And he's got a chariot. Behind that is a mage on a horse. And in the woods he's got 10 archers. Then to the right of the woods there's a Flamespire Phoenix. Then 10 Swordmasters. Behind them is a repeater bolt thrower. And to the far right you've got 5 Shadow Warriors or something. I think that's what they're called. So I get first turn, first time round. I finished deploying first. Oh, he did move his... He got like a Vanguard kind of move on his Shadow Warriors, so we moved them up a bit. My Soul Grinder moves up and around. He can run and shoot, so he had really good move, which is awesome. Everything else kind of moved up. My shooting did absolutely bugger all, and I got no charges, so he hops straight into his turn. He moves stuff around. He moves his Illyrian Reavers over to the left there to take some shots at my Soul Grinder. He moves his chariot forward. Then he moves his Phoenix around to the other side of the woods. Some of his characters around. His Swordmasters come forward, and his Shadow Warriors move into that little bit of terrain. They get +1 to hit when they're in terrain. Over here, his Reavers shoot my Soul Grinder and plink 3 wounds off. That's fine. And then he has these got this really cool rule where they can move after shooting, which is quite awesome. So these are real space elves. He also, his archers take some shots at my Plague Drones and plink a wound off there. And his bolt thrower shoots at my Herald and takes 3 wounds off from there. Which had some sort of lookout sir roll. That would be really helpful. In his combat phase, he charges into my Plague Drones with his chariot. He is able to do wounds to me, but I'm able to do 3 wounds back to him, which is quite awesome, so that's nearly dead now. So we jump straight to my turn, and the first thing we're able to do is summon 3 Beasts of Nurgle. I felt a bit dirty doing it, but there was nothing else really worth me casting. The Mystic Shield was not really worth it, and I wasn't ready to shoot anything, so I just thought I'd summon something, and there you go. In my movement, my Soul Grinder kind of moves up around the house to charge whatever I can. So do my Beasts, they move up. I was hoping I could either charge the Prince on the horse, or worst case scenario, I could just make sure the chariot dies. My Plague Bearers charge up, they're going to try and charge the Swordmasters too. And my Nurglings start running towards the Shadow Warriors. Again, my shooting does nothing. So we go straight to combat, and my Soul Grinder charges the Phoenix, and my Beasts charge the Prince. Which I'm pretty happy about. None of my other charges make it though. So I do this combat first, and I'm able to put a wound onto the Prince, which is pretty awesome. Then he does this combat. He doesn't do anything to me. So then I jump over to this combat, and I do 3 or 4 wounds to the Phoenix. I don't do too badly. Pretty happy with that. Made him a bit weaker at least. And then he does nothing back to me. So we go into this combat, and I am able to kill the chariot with relative ease. He only had 1 wound left. And then you go over here, and he's not able to wound any beasts. So there you go, there's the end of combat there. We go into his turn. His Reavers move around to face the Soul Grinder and take some more shots at that. His Swordmasters move out to my Plague Bearers to charge. His archers move out of the woods away from the combat so they can take some shots and not get charged too easily. And his Shadow Warriors on the right hand side there move up to sort of shoot my Nurglings or whatever. In the shooting phase, his Reavers shoot at my Soul Grinder, plink another 3 wounds off. Then his archers open up and take 4 wounds off. And then his repeater bolt thrower opens up and does another 4 wounds. I just love this massive pile of wound markers I've got there. It's brilliant. He's taking such a punishment. So good. Love it. Love the Soul Grinder. So good. Nothing else happens in the shooting phase. I'll say nothing else. So he charges in with his Swordmasters, makes it no problem. So that's the combat he goes into first. He takes 4 Plague Bearers out. Then I do this combat next, and I'm able to put 4 wounds, I think, onto the Phoenix, which is pretty awesome. So he's down to his last couple of wounds. Then he does this combat over here, and he takes 2 wounds off the Beast of Nurgle. Then I do this combat. This is actually all my Herald. My Herald piles in, and is able to kill 6 himself. He rolls 3 hits, 3 wounds, and then each wound is D3, and he manages to roll 6. So that's awesome. Really happy with that. Then I go over here, and I'm able to do another wound to his Prince, so he's down 2 wounds now. Then over here, I'm able to kill another Swordmaster. Everyone here passes all battle shock tests and everything, so there's no problem there. Then his Phoenix does nothing to my Soul Grinder. Next turn, however, he rolls the initiative, so he gets another turn in a row, which sucked. And the first thing he did was cast Arcane Missile, and boom. Takes off the Soul Grinder, only had 2 wounds left. Killed it, D3 wounds, rolled the 2, and that was that. Which is really sad, but I'll miss the Soul Grinder. Yeah, I will. So he moves, first thing he does, he moves his Lyra and Reavers over to take some shots at the beasts. His Phoenix does that fly over and back thing. Fortunately, he's down enough wounds, it only does 1 wound, one mortal wound, so that's fine. His archers move back a bit further, and his Swordmasters, despite being Swordmasters, retreat out the Plague Bearers because they've had enough. In his shooting phase, his Shadow Warriors take some pot shots at my Herald and kill him, which is quite sad. So that's the end of him. And his Reavers are able to take some shots at my beasts and put 2 wounds on them. And then his archers here finish off the beast that was wounded, do the last wound to him, and that's sad. Then his Bolt Thrower opens up my Plague Bearers and kills 3. In the charging phase, he charges into my Nurglings with the Shadow Warriors. I was quite comfortable here. I know that he has to kill a base at a time, otherwise I regenerate all of the lost wounds at the end of the phase. Nurglings are awesome. And he charges into my beasts with the Phoenix, and that's fine. In combats, I go over here first, and he goes here first and he does a wound to a beast. Then I go over here, and I kill a Shadow Warrior, and that's good. He attacks straight back with them and kills a whole base. He rolled really nicely here. Fair play to him. So he did 4 wounds to the Nurglings, and that's them. That's them out. Then I go over here, and I'm able to do 2 more wounds to the Prince, who's down 4 wounds now. He's only got a single wound left, and that's awesome. Unfortunately, his Phoenix rolls terribly again. Again, he's down so many wounds. He's on his last bracket of damage, so he's not very good. So that's cool. Then it goes to my turn. The first thing I do, I pick up 2 dice, and I yell, possibly louder than I should have, considering we're in a room of people, "Summon Soul Grinder!" Boom. I rolled an 11, and out comes the Soul Grinder. He's back. I missed him so much, I just wanted him to get back, so that's great. He lands on the field. I move everything up forward. I'm going to charge the Prince or the Phoenix with my Plague Drones. My Plague Bearers are going to charge either the Swordmasters or, if they can get far enough, the Archers, because it'd be nice to get all the way up there. Shooting phase, the Soul Grinder, obviously hurt at the fact he'd been killed, shoots straight off the Phoenix. Great. Flame Bombardment, D3 wounds, 3, boom, dead. In my charging phase, I hit the Prince with my Plague Drones, and that's awesome, he's doomed. And I managed to hit the Archers with my Plague Bearers. Needed an 8 or a 9, so that was nice to get into there. They should be a bit squishier than the Swordmasters. So going to combat, I do this one first. My Plague Bearers only managed to kill 1 Archer, but that's fine. Over here, his Prince is able to put the last wound on one of the wounded Plague Drones, so that he dies. And over here, I kill two Shadow Warriors with the Nurglings. And then I'm able to murder his Prince, which is awesome. Really glad I managed to take him out without taking too much damage. Then we go to the Battle Shock phase, and his Shadow Warriors run off, and that's awesome. Nurglings beat the Shadow Warriors. I love Nurglings. They're so good. So the last thing that happens is he rolls his 4+ to see if the Flamespire Phoenix comes back on, and it does. And he puts it right behind my Nurgle Sorcerer, so he realises now that to stop the summoning, summoning filth, he has to kill the Sorcerer, and that's perfectly understandable. So he puts him here 9 inches away, and he's just going to charge him. So the rest of his turn, his Illyrian Reavers move around, start taking some more shots. His Swordmasters move up behind the Plague Bearers to charge them. And that's about it. Over here, he shoots the beasts and do 3 wounds to them with the Reavers. Then he shoots with his archers that are in combat, because he can. And they kill a single Plague Bearer. I don't think his bolt thrower does anything, or it misses, or something. Something goes horribly wrong. I can't remember what. In the charging phase, he charges his Swordmasters into the Plague Bearers, and goes straight into that combat, kills 2 of them. I fight back, I kill 1 Swordmaster and 2 Bowmen, and that's good. And that's all the combats that are happening here. So we go, nothing happens in the Battle Shock phase. So go to my turn. First thing I do is I cast the Mystic Shield on my Soul Grinder. So the plan was I was just going to turn this guy around and hit the Phoenix. He failed his charge with his Phoenix in the previous turn, so that was good. So I was going to turn this guy around, head straight into the Phoenix and try and kill him. So I move him down towards the Phoenix, move the Beasts towards the Reavers. Hopefully I can get the charge in on them. If I can just take out a couple of them, they'd be much worse. My Plague Drones move up around, they're going to charge the Archers to help the Plague Bearers kill them. And my Nurglings move up to try and eventually get into the Swordmasters. In the shooting phase, I'm able to knock 3 wounds off the Phoenix, and that's awesome. And the charging phase, I charge my Plague Drones into the Archers, and my Nurglings make a double 6 charge into the back of the Swordmasters. These Nurglings are awesome. I'm also able to hit the Illyrian Reavers with my Beasts, and I'm happy about that. And obviously my Soul Grinder gets into the Phoenix, no problem. So I do this combat first, because I don't want him to take any damage, and I'm able to do 3 wounds to the Phoenix, which is alright, I'm quite happy with that. Then he attacks me back and does nothing. So over here my Beasts slap 2 Reavers down and put a wound on another, and that's awesome. He attacks back and does a wound. Over here, pretty much nothing happens, I think. I think maybe he loses an archer, but not much happens at all. There's a lot of flubbing rolls here, which isn't good. In his Battle Shock phase, or in the Battle Shock phase I should say, he loses a Reaver. That was the one that was wounded, so that's fine. But he runs away. And that's that. So we go straight into his turn, and first thing he does, he casts the Arcane Missile thing on my Plague Bearers and kills one. Unfortunately, that does take it down to less than 10, so now he's not -1 to hit, which is sad. With shooting. The rest of his movement is largely not present. Everything's in combat apart from his mage, who just kind of moves around a bit. In his shooting phase, his bolt thrower, I think this was, takes off 4 Plague Bearers. That's nasty. So we go into combat, and I'm able to squish the Phoenix. I do the last 6 wounds to it, and that's awesome. Really happy about that. Then his Swordmasters are able to murder a whole bunch of Plague Bearers. I'm down to 1 Plague Bearer now. My attacks back do manage to kill 3 Archers, but I don't kill any Swordmasters, and that's sad. Up here, my Beasts are able to kill 1 Illyrian Reaver and put 1 wound onto the last remaining one, so there's 1 wound left there, and that's fine. So we go into Battle Shock, and I'm able to get some back. I roll a 1, and the banner guy was remaining, so I now get 5 Plague Bearers back, and that's awesome. Really like that rule. Although it can be a disadvantage. I'll get to that. So I don't take a picture of the overall thing. We just go straight to my turn, and I charge the back of the Swordmaster with my Plague Drones. They were out of combat after I think the remaining Archer guy failed his Battle Shock, so he pissed off. So the Plague Drones came round to the back of the Swordmasters. Go straight into combat. My Beasts are able to murder the last Reaver, and that's nice. He does kill a Plague Bearer with his Swordmaster, so I'm able to kill the champion, but I'm not able to kill the last guy. And there you have it. There's the end of the game. The second game of Age of Sigmar for my Nurgle Legions. And went pretty well. the way you work victories out is the percentage loss. I think I ended up losing about 80% of my models. He lost about 90% of his, so it was a victory. He had a few more models than me. Interesting how things that come back, like the Phoenix or the Soul Grinder or the banner for the Plague Bearers, if he killed those Plague Bearers, he would have probably won, because he would have. I would have had. They don't count towards my starting percentage, but they do count towards my wound percentage. So there is potential to lose over 100% of the models you started with, which I find quite interesting. But yeah, so there you go. I am enjoying this game. It is fun. I'm not sure it's fantasy, Warhammer Fantasy, that I love and I know. And I'm not sure how much I'm going to get into it. There's still stuff the Games Workshop are releasing in terms of Age of Sigmar, so we'll see what they do with it. I will continue to play it. I will continue to enjoy it, but I can't see myself starting a new army for it anytime soon. But, we'll see what they do. I'm looking forward to playing it again. So there you go. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Cheers.